Okay, so basically, I am going to declassify my mind. All the thoughts that are in my mind, the ideas, the ideals, the philosophies, the theories, the hypotheses, all of those, the psychology, the method behind the madness. Exactly, I'm about to transcribe the method behind the madness. This is coming out in raw form. This is the introduction. After I'm done with the introduction, I'm gonna write some topics down on a list so I could just see. But I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to talk about. Like I said, I'm going to declassify my mind for 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 those of you who actually know who I am at this point in time. Like if you knew who I was like right now when I was making it or before, so, which is April 214. No, April 215. I'm sorry. This is this is Easter Sunday. This is Easter Sunday 215. So basically, for those of you who knew who I was from a long time ago, from before 215, then this is probably blowing your mind. Um, for anybody who did not know of me previously, as in before 215, for those of you who may be less familiar with me or just becoming familiar with me or only becoming familiar with me at some certain point after 215, then I want to say, what's up? I hope you're having a good day. And I appreciate you and everybody else that is listening to this because that's what this is about. This is about me as a person leaving something of value behind. You know, when most people die, they leave bills and debt. You know, I want to leave something behind more than bills and debt, and I want to leave something behind more than money. You know, if that's not too much to ask. So that's what this declassification is. This is my thought process on tape. This is my deepest fears or insecurities on tape. These are my greatest ambitions, greatest ideas, you know, greatest attunements on tape. You know, I, as a person, I feel so misunderstood in my time frame. Like not my time frame, but my time period. It's like I'm 25 years old, and I have more in common with like 50-year-olds than people 25 years old. And there's not anything wrong with that. But whole life, I could just never understand why the parents seem to like me more than their children. Like, I've had to go through that basically my whole life. Like, as long as I can remember, on different levels of intensity, but in some form they were there. From elementary, because in elementary school I went to Leawood Elementary in Miami, Florida. That's where I'm from, 305 Dade County. My address was 15413 Southwest 107 Court. So if you go there, you'd be like, yeah, Chadfilms used to live here, so y'all better be making movies or something in the backyard or something. But Leawood was in the neighborhood of Kendall, and the address I just gave you was in the neighborhood of Colonial Drive, which was like right across the street from Richmond Heights. They were just separated by a street and intersection or whatever. And so it's like Leawood was like a white school, and Colonial Drive, Richmond Heights, so it's like a black neighborhood. So it was like a nice balance for me. I always appreciated the balance of going to school with the white people, live with the black people. And I guess it sounds funny. I hope it sounds funny. It's whatever. But that's that's where I started off. As far as school and being older and not a baby and stuff. So, like, that's as far as I remember. Not as far, but far back. Starting school. My first friend, I want to shout him out. The first friend I ever made. If you remember the first friend you ever made, that's cool, I guess. Like, but the first friend I ever made was Joseph Aguilar, and it was cool because my dad dropped me off at Leewood at Miss Table's class, and Joseph's dad, Joe Senior, dropped him off. Rest in peace, Joe Senior. Joe Aguilar Senior. So, like, my dad and his dad stayed and talked for a while, and I sat down and started drawing with Joseph, and we were drawing sharks and dolphins. I just remember that, and I remember that forever. And I was on tape forever. you know. So, got about 2 minutes left in the intro, but this is basically the intro. It's about to get real deep. Yeah, I guess I might as well put that out there if you didn't guess it. Yeah, it's about to get real deep. I'm about to declassify my mind, so I spent my whole life just like from 7 on, right? Years, 7 years old and on and above, right? Older. I always, I always remember, like, I always remember adults telling me, like when I get older, you know, I'm gonna do something great, or like when I get older, I'm gonna like look very attractive, things like that. Like, my whole life I've been hearing things like that. Like, in ninth grade, I was sitting at a lunch table, and like two, maybe 10th or 11th or 12th graders, they were sitting down right next to me, and they just told me that they wanted to let me know that when I got older, I was gonna be very handsome, very cute, or whatever they used. And I was in ninth grade, so it was whatever, 10 years ago, whatever. So you got about 45 seconds, but I just spent my whole life just not sure. Like, it always seemed like 50-50. I see one thing, then I turn the next way and see another thing, you know? So it's about to go off in 15 seconds, so we're just going to end it off with just realizing what you're about to hear as I'm realizing what I'm about to say. And that's 3 seconds.